3 Grammys, 84 CMAs, 14 AMAs, and the Kennedy Center Honors.
But there's still one left.
Reba McEntire joins The Voice this fall on NBC.
Sorry.
American Ninja Warrior. All new Monday at 8/7 Central on NBC. From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, NBC 26 at 11.
The heartbreaking loss continues in Hawaii. The Maui wildfires have been deemed as the deadliest in modern U.S. history, and the death toll has climbed to 93, and that number is expected to rise. Authorities say that search and rescue teams have just cleared 3% of Lahaina, but more personnel are on the way to help. But here at home, a local restaurant is doing what they can to raise money for the victims in Hawaii. Our Sydney Hood stopped by Hawaiian-style barbecue to see how their fundraiser went. And Sydney, live in our newsroom tonight, how did it go?
Craig, they only had a couple of t-shirts left when I was there earlier this afternoon, and they started off this 3 days ago, and so far they've raised more than $2,000 from this t-shirt sale.
If you go across the island from where I live, you can see straight to Maui. You can see Maui from my island.
Now all you see are flames swallowing the island.
It gives me chicken skin every time. My heart kind of sinks every time I see or think of it, hear about any of the deaths. It's an overwhelming sensation of like hurt.
Hurt felt thousands of miles away.
I don't have a personal connection to Lahaina, but I do have a personal connection to our tradition and our culture and the land.
Hey, how are you doing?
Bringing that connection here to share and work together as one.
We just have a culture here that comes and supports us.
Support from complete strangers.
This culture is strong. You know, these people, you know, they are strong. They will bounce back, and we will do everything we can to help them, even though we are in little Augusta, Georgia.
Small in size, but big in unity.
Those are my sisters, so we work together. You know, that's my family here. So any ties to Hawaii, I don't have any. You know, I've built relationships with people that have started the restaurant here.
And the staff at Hawaiian Style Barbecue says they are looking for more ways to help and support those in Maui, because for a lot of them, they have roots in Hawaii. So right now, they are just grateful for the support they've received here locally and in this weekend in general.
Alrighty, thank you for checking in on that, Sydney Hood. Now tossing things over to first alert meteorologist Emily Acton. How is it looking for our week ahead?
It's looking hot, but we might have some relief come midweek, so that's some good news. Right now, conditions are dry. A couple of isolated showers off to our north and west, but not quite making it to us here in the CSRA. We're seeing mostly clear skies, and that should help us overnight tonight reach those lower 70s. So right now, though, we're still in those lower 80s in some spots, upper 70s in others. I think we'll bottom out right around 73 to 75 degrees. So a little bit cooler than what we are currently seeing, but that warm trend is going to continue for the next several days. 98 for tomorrow's average high, 96 on Tuesday, and that's only cooling down because we might see some rainfall. And then after that, a little bit cooler, Craig, and I'm saying a little bit cooler. We're going to be in those lower 90s for the middle and into the end of our week, but next weekend still looking pretty hot. But be prepared for tomorrow. I'll have your full forecast and have it all broken down for you coming up soon.
Thanks for the heads up. Well, one man has died after a car accident in Aiken County last night. South Carolina Highway Patrol says the wreck happened just before 9 on Chineville Church Road near Bush Acres Lane, just 10 miles from Aiken. The Aiken County coroner says Billy Graham was driving when his truck went off the road, hitting a ditch and then a tree. He was taken to AU Medical Center, where he later died. A couple in Atlanta has filed a lawsuit claiming their baby was decapitated during delivery at a hospital. According to the lawsuit, the baby boy got stuck during delivery, and the doctor allegedly applied too much force on the baby's head and neck while trying to deliver him. A lawyer for the couple says 3 hours passed before the doctor took the mother for a C-section, and he also accuses the staff of trying to cover up what happened by discouraging the couple from getting an autopsy.
We're here because this young couple, Jessica Ross and Travion Taylor, their son was decapitated during a botched attempt at delivery at Southern Regional Medical Center in Riverdale, Georgia. In my experience, my 12 years experience practicing medicine and 20 years basically doing law, this is one of the most sad, egregious, and horrific situations that I've ever seen.
The GBI Medical Examiner's Office has performed an autopsy on the baby, and the investigation is ongoing. The hospital has released statements denying all allegations against it and says the baby died in the womb before delivery. Fulton County District Attorney has been leading an investigation to see if former President Donald Trump interfered in the 2020 election here in Georgia. Fani Willis is probing to possibly get the jury to hand down an indictment this week. Witnesses are now being rounded up to testify, and one of them will be the former Lieutenant Governor, Jeff Duncan. He spoke recently about his role in the investigation.
I have no expectations as to the questions, and I'll certainly answer whatever questions put in front of me, and certainly don't want to go any deeper than that to jeopardize or compromise the investigation.
Trump's attorneys have stated that they filed a motion in Fulton County Superior Court arguing Willis should be disqualified from her investigation. In Allendale, a 13-year-old has been arrested after he was found with a gun during a shooting investigation. The Allendale Police Department says they responded to reports of shots fired at a home on Patterson Street. When officers arrived, they found at least one of two suspects trying to leave the scene, and the 13-year-old was then arrested and taken to the South Carolina Department of Juvenile Justice. States across the country are bracing for a possible trifecta of respiratory viruses this fall: COVID, the flu, and RSV. Major pharmacy chains have already started rolling out appointments for flu and RSV vaccines, and an updated COVID-19 booster could be ready by the end of next month. The message from health officials: get your vaccines early. The Augusta Animal Services held an open house today. The event offered free microchipping and complimentary nail trims for pets. One employee at Animal Services shares the importance of these events like these and why she decided to get her dog microchipped.
Well, she doesn't go anywhere. She's kind of scared. She does stay in the yard and all, but the main reason, just in case someone unfortunately decides to try to steal her, and even if they have pictures of her already, because you can take pictures fast, at least we would have the microchip information proving that, she belongs to us.
And if you are looking for a pet, Morris says the animal shelter has plenty of pets looking for their forever home. Airfares are dropping as summer travel season wraps up. Some positive news for travelers during this hot and humid and expensive summer. The latest data from travel site Hopper says the average domestic round trip right now is $257. That's down 11% compared to last year, but experts say prices often drop off late in the summer. Other factors include the lowering price of jet fuel and increased airline capacities. However, the seasonal dip in prices is only for a short time before they climb back up again. A beloved family dog has died, and now a pet groomer is behind bars. We'll have that story coming up next.
Well, a key advisory and excessive heat warning are issued tomorrow for the CSRA. I'll have that broken down for you and your full forecast coming up.
Morning, afternoon, night, Monday through Sunday, 24/7. Our first alert commitment to you is the power of 5 meteorologists, always tracking weather that impacts you, telling you what we know as soon as we know it. All the tools, the latest technology, and the first team of 5 meteorologists. First Alert is our investment in your family's safety. News 12, NBC 26 First Alert weather on your side.
Got a good feeling about I'm feeling good vibes.
The Augusta Metro Chamber and Savannah River Nuclear.
A Florida man is behind bars after being accused of posing as a veterinarian and performing surgery on a pregnant dog that later died. The Collier County Sheriff's Office arrested 61-year-old Osvaldo Sanchez Friday. Sanchez is accused of performing surgery on a 6-year-old Chihuahua. After the surgery, the dog got an infection and became ill. The owners took her to an emergency pet care facility where staff noticed that the incision from the operation was closed with string or thread and not the standard materials used. Detectives found during their investigation that while Sanchez was not a licensed veterinarian, he was a licensed pet groomer. 5 people have died after a massive explosion that destroyed 3 homes in the Pittsburgh area. Part of the blast was caught on the security footage here. Authorities in Allegheny County say the explosion destroyed 1 home, and flames from that blast destroyed 2 other homes. At least a dozen more homes nearby were damaged, and the fire was large enough that water tankers responded from 2 counties and 18 different fire departments. Of the 3 people taken to the hospital, 2 have since been released, and 1 remains in critical condition. A Georgia father and his son picked up a hitchhiker who turned out to be wanted for a gruesome murder. Cody Alcorn reports.
Not much happens in the small town of Gillsville, but when it does,
as the car line was going through, we heard sirens and we started hearing helicopters.
News travels fast.
And the parents started talking, and we finally learned that someone was on the loose.
Sydney Seegers was picking up her child from her second day of preschool.
Very unnerving.
No one knew who it was or what the person had done, including Russell Jimerson, until his phone was blowing up.
And then my buddy said, is this a joke that you picked up the hitchhiker? I said, no. I said, I really did.
Jimerson says he was picking up his paycheck in Lula Tuesday morning when he saw a man walking.
He just stuck his hand out, very quickly. And I told my son, let's get him. I help everybody. He had been up all night walking from Wrdw County.
He says he noticed the guy had a backpack and he reeked of an undescribable smell, which, after dropping him off here along Gillsville Highway, Jimerson says he learned who was in his truck, Keegan Phillips, and what he'd allegedly done, an unforgettable phone call.
You won't believe what happened. A guy in Wrdw County murdered someone last night and has their head. And I said, man, you won't believe what I'm fixing to tell you. There's a smell in this car that is awful.
Hours after letting Phillips out of his truck, law enforcement tracked him down and arrested him, ending an hours-long manhunt. Wild scene unfolded in Northern Virginia on Saturday as a traffic crash led to a police chase involving a stolen ambulance. The whole ordeal ended in a short time later in D.C., but not before the ambulance crashed into nearly a dozen cars. The driver's now in custody, and investigators say one of the drivers involved in the crash left an stolen ambulance responding to the scene. The driver took off and crossed over a bridge into southwest Washington, D.C. Police say that's when the ambulance crashed into 10 cars before finally coming to a stop, and thankfully, no one was hurt. Alrighty, y'all, Barbie and Oppenheimer continue to lead in the box office, and find out what other three films that made the top 5 when we come back.
Well, another very hot day in store for us to kick off our work week. Some relief will come by the midweek, but I'll have that all broken down for you coming up after the break.
After an ad.
Big wreck? Tiny check? What the heck?
The insurance company.
Closed captioning for this newscast brought to you by Hearing Associates of South Carolina.
Well, it's mid-August, and there's still one word to sum up the entire summer box office. It's Barbenheimer. Dave Daniel has the early weekend top 5 estimates.
You're afraid of what lies on the other side.
The Dracula tale, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, opened in 5th place, sinking its teeth into just $6.5 million. Meg 2, The Trench, fell from 2nd to 4th on ticket sales of $12.7 million. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem moved up to 3rd, taking in $15.8 million.
Our imaginings horrify us.
Oppenheimer returned to 2nd place with $18.8 million, crossing the $600 million mark worldwide.
Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
There's no stopping Barbie. $33.7 million gave the Greta Gerwig film a 4th straight weekend title and a domestic total of $526 million, number 18 on the all-time domestic chart. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Love to see it. Definitely my money. I saw Oppenheimer twice there. Well, here's a live look over Riverwatch and I-20, and Emily, it's looking nice out right now, but I'm hearing the heat is on again, continuing into the week.
I just wanted to say, hey, Ken.
Oh my gosh.
You gotta say hi, Barbie!
Hi, Barbie.
Oh, you're
There's my
killing
best
me. You
Ryan
left me
Gosling right
hanging there. Man, I was waiting too through that whole thing. I was like, yep, I'm gonna say it, and it's gonna be so fun.
As they say, I'm just Ken, you know?
Yep, okay, I like it. We're gonna keep going. A little bit more serious note, we do have heat advisories, excessive heat warnings issued for the CSRA tomorrow, so that's gonna be high temperatures in those upper 90s. Heat indices surpassing those triple-digit marks. Some places could even reach 109 or higher, so Very hot Monday for us. Definitely cannot emphasize that enough. Some relief might come in the afternoon, mainly looking though like Tuesday is going to be our next best chance of some measurable rainfall. Looking right now, things are dry, expecting that to stay true overnight tonight for the CSRA. A little bit of moisture up to our north, but that has slowly started to dissipate. Temperatures right now are in those upper 70s, lower 80s. We'll cool off a few more degrees overnight. And again, not seeing a whole lot of cloud cover right now, so that will definitely help us reach those middle 70s for the overnight lows. But tomorrow we're going to ramp it back up into those upper 90s. Check out Augusta predicting 98 for the average high temperature, and that really can be said all across the CSRA, seeing those upper 90s. And again, those heat indices will surpass the triple-digit mark. So very hot Monday in store for us. Definitely dress accordingly. Have plenty of water with you. It's just going to be a very hot day. But like I said, mostly clear to partly cloudy overnight tonight. So that's going to help us drop off into the 70s. But we'll warm up tomorrow. Couple of isolated showers possible later on in the afternoon. But overall, we are going to be mostly dry for our Monday. Now, as we head into the day, Tuesday, it's a little bit of a different story, but as we get through the day, Tuesday, I should say, as we head into the day, not looking too bad for our Tuesday, but once we get on into the later afternoon, early evening hours, that's when we can expect some rainfall. So I kind of switched it up a little bit, did a wider view for us. I'm starting the time map at 8 a.m. tomorrow, so conditions are calm. Couple of isolated showers later on in the evening. Like I said, gonna clear out for the overnight hours and throughout most of the day Tuesday. But once we get into that evening dinner time block of our day, that's when we can expect some showers and thunderstorms to pop up. And I think this is going to be our next best chance of some measurable rainfall. So again, tomorrow going to be spotty like in pattern, but once we get into Tuesday, it might be a little bit more widespread. But thankfully, that is being caused by a cold front. So we're going to cool down a little bit, Craig. I mean, Wednesday, 93, not too bad. We're going to warm back up, though, into those middle and upper 90s by the end of the week and into our weekend.
Alrighty, thanks for the heads up, Emily, and loving the Barbie references. Seems like you really like that movie. Well, coming up in sports, though, the Braves set a record against the Mets. Plus, we're just 1 week away from the start of baseball. Come next, your way. And
get healthy.
First Alert Radar, powered by Jim Hudson Lexus Acura Infinity. On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
I really don't know who's more excited than me. We are just days away from turning the lights on Friday night, a step closer to those goals that every team sets before the start of the season. And no team in South Carolina knows what it's like to be within inches of those goals than Saluda. Last year, the Panthers season ended 1 game shy of state against Abbeville. It was only their third loss of the season. Their other losses came from Strom Thurmond and Silver Bluff. They went 11-3 last year. A good bulk of their roster was seniors. This season they have 9, 4 of who have never played football before, and will rely on every single one of them.
So we're really young and inexperienced. The good thing about going as deep as we did last year is those guys that were on the sideline, they saw what it's like, so they've been involved in those big moments, and hopefully that can help stimulate the experience a little bit, but either way, we're inexperienced. There's no other way to cut it, and we got to take our lumps early, probably bloody our nose a little bit, and then hopefully get better every week so we can peak sort of in October.
Saluda gets their season started against Mid-Carolina on Friday. Kickoff is set for 7:30 p.m. Our first episode of Under the Lights throughout the season, every Friday night, is beginning at 11. This Friday, we're breaking down the biggest games and stories on the gridiron from all around the CSRA. All right, on to the Braves. They have had a whirlwind week in New York ahead of Sunday's game. The Braves outscored the Mets 34-3. Saturday, Atlanta became just the 15th since 1940 with at least 20 runs and a shutout and a doubleheader. The 27 runs scored in the double showdown ties for the most allowed in a single day in Mets history, so not so great for them. The 31-run differential is the best in a 3-game stretch since 1900. And if that's not enough, they became the first team in the MLB with at least 20 runs, 5 homers, 5 doubles, and 3 steals. They almost went the whole weekend without a glitch. Matt Olson's homer to put them within 1 was just what they needed. but still not enough. The Jackets bullpen had one of the best outings today. Lucas Braun, the 6th-round pick, pitched just over 4 innings and walked away with 3 hits and 7 strikeouts. The Red Sox only got on the board in the 6th off a single and a double. This is surprising. The Falcons cut linebacker Michael Walker today. He's been on the team for 3 years. He appeared in 16 games last season, starting 12. He had 107 tackles, 56 of them solo. Walker was selected in the 4th round of the 2020 NFL Draft out of Fresno State. 2 weeks ago, Lucas Glover was probably planning his postseason vacation since it was so unlikely that he would even be playing in the FedEx St. Jude Championship. But then he won the Wyndham Championship in Sunday afternoon. He beat out Patrick Cantlay on the first playoff hole to claim back-to-back wins. He is the first this season to do so, and the 3rd over 40 to win in back-to-back weeks, joining Kenny Perry and VJ.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd have told me this 3 months ago, I'd tell you crazy. But at the same time, if you asked me legitimately did I think I was capable, I'd say yes. And even then, it's just one of those sad ways athletes are wired. We always believe in ourselves, no matter how bad it is. And, I never gave that up.
Well, can he make it a three-peat? He'll get his chance at the BMW Championship next weekend.
Well, we didn't see any rainfall today, and very hot afternoon for us. Tomorrow, looking to be the same. I'll have one last look at your forecast coming up.
Got a good feeling about this. Yeah, I'm with it. I'm feeling good vibes.
Well, we have heat advisories and excessive heat warning issued for portions of the CSRA. Don't get too caught up on these colors and where you are on the map. Just know it's going to be hot everywhere. Heat indices will definitely surpass that 100-degree mark. Could even reach 109 or higher. Again, very hot afternoon for us tomorrow. Actual temperatures are going to be in those upper 90s and might cool down a little bit starting Tuesday. A cold front's going to move through in the evening. And I say cold front, people think, oh, cold weather. It's just cooler than what we're seeing right now. But along with it, going to bring some showers and thunderstorms. Could see a couple of isolated showers tomorrow evening. But like I said, Tuesday is going to be the more measurable rainfall type of day. Or type of evening, I really should say. And then we'll cool down. Wednesday, not looking too bad. But we'll get back into those middle 90s by the end of our work week, Craig.
Alrighty, well, thanks for the heads up, Emily, and thank y'all for joining us here late at WRDW News 12 NBC 26. I'm Craig Allison, but if you're waking up early, be sure to join Nick, Zaina, and Tim when you wake up.
I'm Dr. Katie Keck with Bella Family Dentistry, and we are proud to sponsor Be the Community on NBC 26. Wednesdays at 7 p.m., Paige Tucker will share stories about individuals and organizations among us who make a difference every day. You can view these stories and nominate someone you know at 26NBC.com. At Bella Family Dentistry, we believe that giving back is essential to living well.
It's a Goldilocks experience. Some heating and air conditioning contractor prices are too high. There's an extra charge for everything. Some advertised prices are too low. Like not real. Contact Styles Heating and Cooling, the company that is just right. Styles has been keeping area homeowners comfortable for more than 50 years. You can't trust just anyone with a truck. Styles repairs it right the first time and replaces only what can't be repaired. See us on the web at stylesair.com.